addicted to exercise or bettering myself or, you know what I mean, like bettering my body or
the
my
problem
mind.
is it's way easier to smoke a fucking pipe than it is to go box some iron. But
it's
like,
this,
right?
Like,
which one's going to get the result faster?
Right, exactly. And addicts, we need instant gratification.
Yeah.
We need it now, right? And if you have to work out, it's going to take a while to see results.
Yeah.
Smoking crack or meth, right?
Yeah.
You get high right away, but that doesn't solve anything.
No, not at all. It's an escape.
Like, I lost my teeth like 9 months after starting to smoke crystal meth. Like
9 months? That's all that's okay.
And just they started dropping out of my face.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's like my worst dream. I have dreams about teeth falling out.
I like real bad bone infection from it because I would not focus on this stuff. I wouldn't focus on my anxiety. Get so anxious, smoke a bunch of meth, still be anxious, and just be high, right? And feel filthy and dirty.
Really?
And then I would get anxious when my teeth started falling out. And then I got real bad bone infection, like in my jawbone all the way down to here. It was like puffy. Had to have surgery. Like when I was in treatment, I had to have surgery, and they... Thank God for the Ministry of Health in the country we live in, you know. Like, I'm grateful that the Ministry of Health helped me get a new smile, right?
Yeah, no kidding.
That smile has taken me a long way. I didn't smile for a long time because I just have like shards of teeth.
Really?
Yeah, and I was so embarrassed.
Well, yeah, man.
But I keep smoking meth, right? I knew that was the source, and yet I'd still smoke it.
Crazy, man. But that's the addiction, right?
The addiction. And I think that's the sickness, right? You know, like people that, again, you know, people that don't take their insulin when they're diabetic, they go crazy.
Yeah.
They go to diabetic shock, right?
And someone that's, you see some of these shows with people that are addicted to overeating.
Right.
They know the reason why they're putting on weight. They just don't, same thing. So, so
because addiction's real. Like, I think addiction is the realest thing ever that doesn't discriminate against anyone. It doesn't matter where you came from or what your job is or how much money is in your bank account or what you drive.
Right.
Addiction will get anyone.
Sure. You know? 100%, man. And it can rip lives apart. I've seen it. I've seen it rip my my best buddy and roommate. It led to his suicide. Yeah. And that was
the ripple effect from that is still going on. You know what I mean?
100%, man.
What, still 2 years?
Almost 2 years later.
2 years later, and that ripple effect is still.
It'll be 2 years around Christmas Eve of this year. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's still absolutely. I mean, every time that we do this, he's still on my mind, and so are the other people that we've lost this year. Like,
and we do that for those people, right? We're making sure, trying to do our best that we don't have to go through that stuff anymore, right?
And we don't want you to either.
Never, no.
Fuck, it's heartbreaking.
I think that's why we're being successful with this podcast. Is that if anyone out there is struggling, you know that you can reach out to either of us.
Yeah.
You know, Scott too, anytime.
For sure.
And we have great resources. I guess that's the best thing about being in recovery is that we've got a lot of networking done and a lot of resources, and we can hook people up with, you know, phone numbers that they can call. I'm not a counselor, and I don't want to give anyone the wrong advice. Right. I just have my experience.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is sometimes it's nice to know that, like, okay, these guys have gone through it. I mean, whatever your drug of choice is. I mean, mine wasn't crystal meth. Mine was blow. Mine was coke. Yeah. I never smoked anything other than weed, and other than that, I guess like I consider it myself a little lucky because I did go down that road because I hear it's more addictive, and I didn't lose any teeth, and you know my nose is probably like got a hole through it somewhere. But other than that, it depends. I mean, I consider myself the lucky kind of gentleman in recovery.
Absolutely, yeah. I consider myself very lucky that and I did all those drugs. I consider myself very lucky for finding an avenue out of that. Yeah. Like I was through a lot of detox, a lot of treatment, like 7 treatment centers I've been to, 6 detox. Yeah. Ton of support, people around me that won't give up on me, right? And I think that's what got me sober. That's what's kept me sober. It's not me alone. Yeah. You need a community, right? They say like a village raises a child. Like, you know, a village still raises you when you're 30 years old. Yeah. And I think always that I'm very grateful for that.
Absolutely, buddy. And I mean, everything that you've gone through just adds to your story, makes that impact for others. So I mean, you're very easy to approach. So hopefully, anyone that's out there, again, don't hesitate to reach out to either of us. We're really going to be pushing the fact that you can reach out to us this month. Because we know it's a bad month for a lot of people. Just statistically proving that, right? Yeah. So it can be very difficult to get an individual to stay on a medication indefinitely because when one little thing happens that triggers their anxiety, rather than cope with it, they look for the answer in a pill or a bottle. They end up taking another pill. So this is the same thing. I mean, when you look for that Band-Aid fix,
right?
And this is what it was like for me personally. I didn't want to wait the 3 weeks to a month for any anti-anxiety or depression medication to work. So in that time, I was drinking, and you're not supposed to be drinking. It's like the worst thing you can do.
Yeah, absolutely.
But how many fucking people in this world are self-medicating with alcohol and kind of, honestly, in a way, I see a lot of people kind of treat it as a joke, like, I fucking need a glass of wine or whatever, right? Yeah. Well, they say to take the edge off, but that edge is anxiety. Right. Why don't you just deal with that in a healthy way?
Right.
So I really think that in order to get any kind of problem, if it's anxiety or depression, under control, you need to cut out the alcohol, at least for the time being.
Oh, for sure. I couldn't address my sexual abuse, my post-traumatic stress, my depression while I was still drinking. I just couldn't. I tried it. Yeah. It didn't work. I had to get sober. And for a while, I had to be sober for, I think the first time I got into a trauma group, I was 9 months sober. And I just had to learn how to be sober first. That's it. Just learn to live without going to the liquor store, without going to the beer store every day. And then it got to a point where I could address my trauma. And I'm so grateful that I, did that sober. Yeah. That I was able to do it. Because you're able to understand it then. You're able to absorb it. At that point, I didn't know the depths of post-traumatic stress. I had no idea what that. Right. But I'd get so mad at myself for having nightmares. Right. You know what I mean?
Right.
I would beat myself up for having flashbacks.
Right.
People with post-traumatic stress have flashbacks.
That happens.
It's a normal reaction to an abnormal circumstance. That makes me feel a lot better. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That anyone in the situation would react that way. Yeah. Anyone that has post-traumatic stress probably struggles with nightmares. Right. Or flashbacks. And that's all right. That's what happens with people that have depression. Sometimes they're depressed.
Right. And you think
that's okay.
And you think PST caused depression for you, or do you think that it just kind of went hand in hand?
I think I had depression before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I do. I think I really felt it when I broke my leg. Yeah. When I was playing hockey and I broke my leg because I had been on the rink for 18 years. As much as I could, and then I broke my leg and I couldn't go to the rink. Or I could go to the rink.
And that was your livelihood.
That was my livelihood. Yeah. I didn't have a plan B. That's what I was going to do. And
right.
So I think that was the first time I ever felt depression. Was I would go to the rink and I had this big leg brace on to get to watch my buddies play, and I'd have to sit on the bench.
Right.
Here I'll feel your water bottle up.
So did you ever think of maybe taking medication back then? Did you cross your mind?
For depression?
Yeah.
No, I drank.
No, that's what you did.
I drank, yeah.
And I think that's a common thing that people do. It's it's almost like drinking is socially acceptable, whereas to go to the doctor and potentially take a prescription medication seems like it might be frowned upon. Maybe your ego's too big to admit that you need that. I think we're kind of breaking down the stigma when it comes to medication. Yeah. A lot of people are on it right now.
Absolutely. And there's nothing wrong with being on medication.
Not at all.
I was on medication
just be careful.
A long time. You just have to be careful with
it. Read the literature. Mm-hmm. Know what you're taking. Know what the side effects are. Know what the rebound's going to be like when you try to get off that stuff, because
that's the big thing. Know what it's going to be like when you come off of it, right?
Yeah, and you aren't. Chances are you're not going to be on it forever. You're going to think at one point in time you don't need it anymore. Hopefully you've done some of this stuff and developed some coping skills, because coming off that medication alone can trigger some fucking shitty anxiety.
If you're taking medication right now, don't stop it tonight.
Not at all. Yeah, we do not. Don't ever do anything just by watching the show. Go talk to your doctor.
Talk to your doctor for sure. And for medication like that, you have to be weaned off of it, and that's the healthy way to do it, right?
Cold turkey is fucking nightmare,
and it's dangerous. Yeah, it's dangerous for your body.
Yeah,
you can give yourself a heart attack.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. Because you get so anxious, right? And you're used to having this stuff.
It's gonna freak people out right there.
Well, I know. Don't stop taking your medication. If you're taking it, keep taking it. Talk to your doctor about weaning off of it if that's what you need to do.
Yeah.
I'm not a doctor. I don't know if anyone wants me to be a doctor. To be honest.
You'd have to go back and do a little bit of training.
Yeah.
By prescribing the medication, it can take away the motivation to learn skills like this. So that's a lot of people go to the doctor's office and they want the medication for a quick fix, because they don't want to put the time in. Life is one of those fucking instant gratification scenarios these days. Everybody wants.
I think we're speeding up too. I think we're getting so much faster than we did, say, 20 years ago.
But if you want to grow and you want to be something that's causing you problems, taking a pill without doing any kind of changing yourself, any kind of personal development work, it's not going to do a thing.
No.
It's a temporary fix. As soon as you stop taking that pill, you have learned nothing.
Right.
Yeah. So, and again, your tolerance is going to increase. You're going to continue to need more. And not if you need it, you need it. But try to explore other avenues while you're on it.
While you're on it, right?
Yeah.
I think with that too, like if you're on medication and you're trying other avenues, that might be a great way to absorb that stuff. That you're trying other avenues and you're taking this medication, right? So that when that switch
memory
happens,
or whatever.
Yeah. When that switch happens, you get off that medication. You still have those tools, right? You still have the. For me, I play a ton of guitar, right? I color, I walk. Like, those are my things. Like I haven't played guitar for like 2 days, and I can feel it.
Really?
Like, totally can.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So you know that that's one of your go-tos for relieving stress.
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you're at a point where you can't, a lot of people with anxiety are afraid of medication to begin with and don't want to take it. So. It's kind of funny because you've got two different extremes here. You've got people that get anxious about taking the anxiety medication, but then you've got people that abuse the medication.
Right.
And if you're at a point where you can't even function, and the skills you've been discussing just seem like too much work, then maybe you do need to take a medication temporarily. But that's the minority. Most people with anxiety are functioning and hiding it.
Bingo.
Yeah. Untreated depression, we're going to talk a little bit about depression now. Untreated depression can lead to death in the form of suicide, as we mentioned. Big fear for us, really.
Big fear. Yeah.
So at times, medication can be life-saving. It's a disease that needs to be taken very seriously. Medicines today are much better than they used to be, with fewer side effects, and are extraordinarily effective. So obviously we've come a long way since the days of everybody Valium and Prozac being sort of the majors. Some of the stuff that you can take now, I remember the last medication I was on, which was like 3 years ago, was I think it was called Cipralex.
Yeah, Cipralex is one of them.
Yeah.
Prestige, that's another one.
Yeah. Have you been on either?
I've been on Prestige. I've been on Effexor. I've been on clonazepam, lorazepam, Seroquel.
Yeah.
Prozac, been on Prozac. Prozac for me just did, like, I wasn't happy, glad, sad, mad, nothing. I was just numb, and I was a struggle for me to even beat myself up.
Really?
To know that I'm numb.
Really?
It was like hard for me to do because I just was like.
You just kind of floating through life.
I was like going through like the Macy's Day Parade, right?
Right.
And that's all. And that's not a way to live. If that's the way it's going for anyone, like just talk to your doctor to switch up your medication because life is it's out there. It's beautiful, right? And if you're just floating around. It's important
to feel things.
Yeah, you gotta feel things, right? You feel it, and you just and you go through life with it. I think all those things that I've been through in life, I'm never going to get over them, and I feel them still.
Right.
But they walk with me in life, right? Like they don't use me anymore.
Right. I mean, it is a journey that you're on. You are supposed to feel things. You are going to go through some shitty situations, and you're going to go through some great situations as well. So just be patient and remember that you are a human being, and you were meant to feel. Like if it's a feeling, say you're about to do when Paulie goes on stage and talks. If you're about to be Paulie going on and giving a motivational talk, you're going to get nervous and a little bit of anxiety. Every time. But that's something that like you need to experience. That's normal.
Yeah.
And it doesn't necessarily mean he needs medication for it. It's just something that you do over and over again. And eventually just maybe it gets a little bit less and a little bit less. Yeah. But how are you really going to give a fantastic speech if you just go in and you're on Prozac and all numbed up, right?
Oh, I don't know if I could.
Right?
I really don't know.
Sure, some people can. But
I'm sure they can, yeah.
For you, it doesn't sound like it would have worked.
Yeah, I don't know if it would work for me. Mm-hmm. I just accept that I have depression, and I try not to suffer from it. I try to just live with it, right? I just try to say, hey, you know what? Like, because I do struggle with depression quite a bit, and that led to like self-harm for me, right? Which led to multiple suicide attempts. But anytime I'm like thinking about because I burn my legs, that's kind of what I do. And anytime I think about that, I just think like these legs carry me on my skates,
right?
And I have to coach these kids that I'm coaching hockey, and that these legs got to carry that, right? So I have to put these legs not only to work for me but for other people.
Sure.
Just try to reframe that thinking that I can't burn these things anymore because they're being used to teach, right? They're being used to help other people out, and that's my life, right? I love helping people out. I think that helping people helps me.
Yeah, sure. And it should. If you look outside yourself, that's something we talk about a lot here too. Is a lot of anxiety and depression is turned inward. You're focused on yourself. If you start focusing outward at the world,